Hello everyone, welcome to ServiceNow again. In this video, I will talk about HR criteria and how to utilize the created HR criteria with the help of few use cases. And also I will demonstrate how to create user criteria from HR criteria and use it to hide any HR catalog item on ESC portal. So let's first understand what is the use of HR criteria in HRSD. So with the help of HR criteria, you can control what information can be made available to users or create HR cases for specific groups, individuals or to all employees. In earlier video, we have already seen how to create HR service and made it available on HR case creation form. In some scenarios, there will be requirement to show HR service based on some criteria or conditions. Like you want an HR service to be visible for only employee of particular country, department or location. Then how we are going to restrict that? In such scenario, we can leverage the HR criteria functionality. HR criteria can be used in multiple ways. The first one is it filters HR service during case creation or transfer. So if you want to filter HR services on the case creation form or while transferring the HR case, you can use HR criteria. But one thing to be keep in mind that it will applies only for subject person. I will cover this topic in this video. The second one is filters content on the employee center. If you want to filter some content on employee service center portal, you can use HR criteria. Filters life cycle event activities. You can also filter life cycle event activities based on HR criteria. The fourth one is selects users when creating bulk HR cases. You can use HR criteria to create bulk HR cases. I will cover this topic in my next video. Selects document template for HR cases. You can also apply HR criteria to filter document templates for HR cases. I will cover this topic in detail when we have a session on document templates. Just for your info, HR document templates are used to create and modify reusable HR documents. So basically now in this session I will cover the first two ways, that is filter HR service during case creation, and the second one is filters content on the employee center. To create HR criteria, we will have to navigate to HR administration, then we have a module HR criteria. Now we have some use cases. So the first one is like we have to hide the HR service medical reimbursement request that we have already created in my previous video on the case creation form to the employee whose country of birth is not United States of America. And the second one is hide HR catalog item payroll inquiry on ESC portal for the employee whose country of birth is not United States of America. So let's start with the first use case. So let's navigate to our demo instance and see how we can achieve it. So let's navigate to HR profile and pick a user which have different country of birth apart from United States of America. So right now we have 594 HR profiles in our instance. Let me filter the empty one. So we have total 22 users who have country of birth We can take any user from the list for our use case. So let's take able tutor as an example because able tutor has India as country of birth. Now let's first check whether HR service is available for case creation or not. So here you can see that HR service medical reimbursement request is available under medical enrollment topic category and HR total rewards case COE. So right now we have not implemented any HR criteria for this HR service. That is why this HR service is visible to able tutor. Now let's create an HR criteria. As I have earlier discussed, like for creating HR criteria, you will have to navigate to HR administration and then HR criteria. Few HR criteria is already available here. Now let's create our own HR criteria by clicking the new button. Now let's fill the form. So the first one is name of the HR criteria. I will put the name as country of birth is USA. The second is related user criteria. You can see that this field is read only. This field can be used when you want to create a user criteria from this HR criteria. But here we don't have any option right now to create user criteria from this HR criteria. Actually, once we will save this HR criteria, a related link will be available to create it. So let's first save the HR criteria. So here you can see that we have a related link, create user criteria. So I will explain this in detail in a moment. So let's first go through the conditions, whatever we have in the related list. So either you can use previously created conditions by clicking on the edit button, or you can create your own as per your requirement. So let's create our own condition by clicking the new button. USA. Table will be HR profile as we want to filter employee based on birth country. So right now you can see it is showing 594 records because we haven't put any filter condition. Now let's put the condition country of birth is USA. We'll put United States of America. Now refresh the matching condition. You can see that now we have 20 matching records. Now let's try to save the HR condition. While saving, you can see we are getting some error, and the error says a valid user column is required for non-user tables, and this is because we have not selected user in the field user column. This is required because we are restricting users. We are playing with users here when we create any HR criteria. So if you are using any non-user table, you must have to provide user as field value for user column. So let's put user table here and put any condition like active is true just for testing purpose, and I'm not filling any value over here in the user column, and try to save it. So here you can see that it is not throwing any error because it is a user table. We are not using any non-user table over here. Now let's put HR profile. So just keep in mind, whenever you are using any non-user table, you must have to provide user as field value for user column. Now I have selected the HR profile. Let's put the condition. Country of birth is United States of America, and select user in the user column field, and let's save it. Now we are good with our HR criteria. Now we will see how to attach it to any HR services. So let's navigate to HR service configuration and open the HR service, whatever we have created in the previous video. So this one is the HR service we have created earlier. So let's remove it. So this is the HR criteria field where we are going to add our HR criteria. Now let's save it. So we are almost done with the use case. Now let's validate whether it is working as expected. So let's impersonate with able tutor. And create a case. So here you can see that HR service is not available for able tutor. This is because able tutor belongs to India, and we have created an HR criteria that medical reimbursement request should get visible to only employee which has USA as country of birth. Now let's impersonate with a user which has USA as country of birth. So let's first impersonate with HR admin. Let's filter out the empty one, and we have several users which has United States of America as country of birth, so I will pick this one. Let's reload the case creation form. So here you can see that for MOS, medical reimbursement request HR service is visible because Amos country of birth is USA. Also, one thing to be noted here, it applies to only subject person. For example, let's change the subject person to Roger. And here you can see that Roger has Greece as country of birth. So it should not be visible. So here you can see that HR service medical reimbursement request is not visible to him as well. If again we change to Amos and try to search the medical reimbursement request, it will be visible. So in this way we can hide any HR services based on our HR conditions or HR criteria. Now we will see the second part of the video, that is related to user criteria. So let's open the created HR criteria. So let me impersonate with HR admin again. And this is the HR criteria. Click on the create user criteria related link, and here you can see that a new user criteria has been created, and it has been populated in the related user criteria field that was read only from the beginning. And now we can use this user criteria across the ServiceNow platform to filter catalog items, HR service portal widgets, and knowledge articles. So let's see how we can do that. Let's navigate to manage HR catalog. Let's go to payroll, and here we have payroll inquiry. But before that, let's open the employee service center portal and try to validate whether payroll inquiry is available on portal or not. So here you can see that payroll inquiry is available on the portal. Now let's impersonate with some user which has different country of birth, like whether it's India or Greece. So we have already seen that Roger has Greece as a country of birth. So let's first impersonate with Roger and try to validate whether this payroll inquiry is visible to him or not. And when we will implement that user criteria, then again we will validate whether it is visible to him or not. So right now you can see that payroll inquiry is still visible to Roger as well. Now let's impersonate with HR admin. And now we will put the user criteria in the available for related list. So here don't get confused with the user criteria name. HR criteria is added as suffix because this user criteria is generated from HR criteria. Now let's save it. Now let's impersonate with Roger again and reload the form. So here you can see that this catalog item is not available for Roger because he belongs to Greece. Again, if you impersonate with Amos and he belongs to United States of America, and if you will reload the portal, this catalog item will be visible to him because he belongs to USA. We have one more user, able tutor, which has India as country of birth. So let's try for him as well. And here you can see that this catalog item is also not visible for able tutor because the country of birth of able tutor is India. Also, one thing to be noted here, you can add multiple conditions in a single HR criteria. In such scenarios, the records that match all the conditions are only displayed on the HR criteria. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please provide your valuable inputs or suggestions. Also, please subscribe the channel for more upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. Good luck and happy learning.